Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing 6 entitled Conversation between Narad and Vyasadev, text 11 onwards. Shritanjan Padastatra Purugram Prajakaram Ket Kharvatvatischa Vanani Upavanani cha. After my departure, means after Narada Muni's mother got bit by that serpent, and then he had no one to look after him, and then he thought this is the best time, this is my best opportunity to leave the home and look for God. So he left his house. And then Narada Muni is saying, after my departure, I passed through many flourishing metropolises, towns, villages, animal farms, mines, agricultural lands, valleys, flower gardens, nursery gardens, and natural forests. And Prabhupada very nicely writes in the purport, man's activities in agriculture, mining, farming, industries, gardening, etc. were all on the same scale as they are now, even previous to the present creation. And the same activities will remain as they are even in the next creation. After many hundreds of millions of years, one creation is started by the law of nature, and the history of the universe repeats itself practically in the same way. So, it's like the historians say we all came from apes and monkeys only 10,000 years ago or something like that. It's all nonsense, not according to Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is talking about Brahma's previous day. And here again, all these things were there at that time also. And again, Prabhupada is saying the same activity will go on repeating itself every millennium. The mundane wranglers waste time with archaeological excavations without searching into the vital necessities of life. So, real necessity of life is how to get out of this cycle of birth, old age, disease, and death. But people will not look into it. What happened here, what happened there, and then they speculate. Oh, this must have happened, this must have happened. Or they want to go to moon, they want to go to Mars, they want to go to other planets to find out if the life is there. But what about the life that is here right now on Earth? And how do we improve that life? That is most important. But this is not what people will be interested in. After getting an impetus in spiritual life, Shri Narada Muni, even though a mere child, did not waste time for a single moment with economic development. Although he passed towns and villages, mines and industries, he continually went on to progressive spiritual emancipation. Srimad Bhagavatam is a repetition of history which happened some hundreds of millions of years ago. As it was seen, that is what said here and before, only the most important factors of history are picked up to be recorded in this transcendental literature. So only the most important factors or incidents are picked up and recorded here for our purification and for how we can make advancement. So Narada Muni was passing through so many towns and villages, and he was actually going towards Himalayas, going towards north. And Bhagavatam says he passed through many flourishing metropolises, towns, villages, animal farms, mines, agricultural lands, valleys, flower gardens, so many things. But nothing attracted him. Nothing attracted him to the extent that he would stay there and say, I can work in this mine, or I can work in this agricultural field, I can own something and make some money, and when I am old, then I'll go for my tapasya or whatever. No, he didn't do that. He kept going. So nothing attracted him because he had already got the impetus to make progress in spiritual life. Chitradhatu vichitradin ibh bhagna bhujdraman jalashayan shiv jalana nalini sursevita chitra swana patra rathra vibhram dad bhramara shriyah. I passed through hills and mountains full of reservoirs of various minerals like gold, silver, and copper, and through tracts of land with reservoirs of water filled with beautiful lotus flowers, fit for the denizens of heaven, decorated with bewildered bees and singing birds. So this is the experience of Narada Muni, that he is passing through so many wonderful places, but there is no mention of, although it mentioned metropolises, but it doesn't mention that there were big industries and big cars and those kind of things, where people were living in very pure life. And look at it, he says he passed through mountains full of gold, silver, copper, but he didn't stop, he didn't wait to just fill up his clothes or his something, so fill up his bags with gold. Oh, I can keep some gold for my old age or emergency purposes. He didn't stop at all. He kept going. Nal Venu Sharastan Bakush Kichak Gahvaram Ek Evati Yatu Aham Adraksham Vipinam Mahat Ghoram Prati Bhayakaram Vyaloluk Shivajiram. I then passed alone through many forests of rushes, bamboo, reeds, sharp grass, weeds, and caves, which were very difficult to go through alone. I visited deep, dark, and dangerously fearful forests, which were the play yards of snakes, owls, and jackals. It is Prabhupada's writing. It is a duty of a mendicant or Parivrajkacharya to experience all varieties of God's creation by traveling alone through all forests, hills, towns, villages, etc., to gain faith in God and strength of mind, as well as to enlighten the inhabitants with the message of God. So it is a duty of a mendicant, a Parivrajkacharya, to travel alone. Why? First of all, to gain strength and faith in God. Because one who is once one becomes a sannyasi, then he has nobody else to rely upon, to be dependent upon, except Krishna. So this is the real meaning of sannyas. And another meaning of sannyas is to enlighten the inhabitants with the message of God. Sannyas is not just for oneself. He has to enlighten others. He has to give the message to others. He has to make sure others can follow this process, this path. So a sannyasi is duty-bound to take all these risks without fear. And the most typical sannyasi of the present age is Lord Chaitanya, who traveled in the same manner through the central Indian jungles, enlightening even the tigers, bears, snakes, deers, elephants, and many other jungle animals. So sannyasi is duty-bound to take all this risk without fear. So sannyasi is not supposed to just, for a showcase, he's supposed to just live in his ashram, make money, and invite so many people to his ashram or give them blessings or whatever. Sannyasi is supposed to travel, because that is when he realizes that God is my protector. He has to have that faith in God. Because once in a forest, one has no other means of protection except Krishna. and no other means of maintenance either, except if Krishna provides something. Because he has to live off of fruits or roots, and he has to protect himself from this all kinds of animals. So for sannyasi, that's why especially for Parivrajkacharya. Parivrajkacharya is one who travels and preaches. In sannyas ashram also there are many different levels. For Parivrajkacharya, he has to travel and preach. So this is a really the standard of sannyas ashram. One should follow that. In this age, devotional service of hearing and repeating the holy glories of the Lord is strongly recommended, and one who takes the vow of renunciation of family life need not imitate the Parivrajkacharya like Narada and Lord Chaitanya, but may sit down at some holy place and devote his whole time and energy to hear and repeatedly chant the holy scriptures left by the great acharyas. So Prabhupada saying one may sit down at some holy place if he wants to take sannyas, but it's still better because Prabhupada himself, he did not stay at one place for too long. He kept on traveling, kept on enlightening many people, kept on purifying so many places. So this is the duty of a sannyasi actually. Parishrantendriya atmaham trit parito bubukshitah snatva pitva hirde ade nadya upsprishto gatashramah. Thus traveling, I felt tired, both bodily and mentally, and I was both thirsty and hungry. So I took a bath in a river lake and also drank water. By contacting water, I got relief from my exhaustion. A traveling mendicant can meet the needs of body, namely thirst and hunger, by the gifts of nature without being a beggar at the door of the householders. The mendicant does not need to go to the house of a householder to beg, but to enlighten him spiritually. That's the main purpose of a mendicant or a sannyasi, to go to the house of a householder, not to beg, and certainly not to get envious or jealous of his economic position or financial situation, but to enlighten that householder spiritually. So this is the most important aspect of being a sannyasi. Just like later on in some part of Bhagavatam, it talks about for a person who has left the house to relieve his hunger and thirst, and if he needs clothes, he can take the bark of the tree or the clothes that are discarded by people that are left on the street. And if he wants to sleep, he can sleep under a tree. Well, this is the ideal situation. So obviously, not many people can follow that, but that is a real situation or the position of a sannyasi. The one should, and also sannyas means he should not have any possession at all, any possession, nothing. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to South India, what he was carrying? Only his danda and one kamandal. That's it. And clothes. Nothing else he was carrying. In fact, when he left Navdvip and went to Jagannath Puri, and he had taken sannyas, so along with him came Nityanand Prabhu, Mukunda, and a few other devotees. And Mahaprabhu strictly forbade them. He said, I'm a sannyasi, even though you all are grastas, but if you're going to come with me, if you're going to walk with me, you're not going to carry a single coin either. Nothing. That is a strict rule of sannyasa ashram. Also, another rule is when he sleeps at night under a tree, in the morning when he gets up, and whichever direction his face is, he goes in that direction. He starts moving walking towards that direction. Means not even a fixed place to go to. That is sannyas ashram. Very strict ashram, very strict. Of course, that doesn't mean the Grihastha ashram is not strict or Grihastha ashram is very easy ashram. It doesn't mean that. But sannyas ashram is very strict because then a person is he's preparing for his next life actually, and preparing nicely for the next life. If he gets a material life, then it will be very nice life, or if he gets full realization of the Lord, then he goes back. That's it. तस्मिन् निर्मनुजे अरण्ये पिपलोपस्थ आश्रितः आत्मनात्मानम्
No voice, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we are unable to hear you.
I know. Somehow I got kicked out. So log in again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, this text, entire text, not hear anything.
I know, I didn't say anything because I got kicked out. So I'm going to speak again. After that, under the shadow of a banyan tree in an uninhabited forest, I began to meditate upon the supersoul situated within, using my intelligence as I had learned from the liberated souls. So, after walking through so many towns and metropolises and villages and gardens and the reservoirs of water and the mountains which were full of gold, copper, silver, Narada Muni finally came in this forest, and he sat under a banyan tree in an uninhabited forest. So just imagine 5-year-old boy going to a forest which is not inhabited by people except ferocious animals. And there he began to meditate upon the super soul without any fear. And then he says, as I had learned from liberated souls. So he wasn't using his own method of meditation. In the purport, Prabhupada writes, one should not meditate according to one's personal whims. One should know perfectly well from the authoritative sources of scriptures, through the transparent medium of a bona fide spiritual master, and by proper use of one's trained intelligence, for meditating upon the super soul dwelling within every living being. So Prabhupada is making sure that we follow the scriptures and as bona fide spiritual master, and then one can meditate on the super soul. This consciousness is firmly developed by a devotee who has rendered loving service unto the Lord by carrying out the orders of the spiritual master. Shri Naraji contacted bona fide spiritual masters, served them sincerely, and got enlightenment rightly. Thus he began to meditate. And then he started to meditate. Dhyayatas charanam bhojam bhava nirjita chetasa otkantya shru kalapshyasya hridya asin me shaner hari. As soon as I began to meditate upon the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, with my mind transformed in transcendental love, tears rolled down from my eyes, and without delay, the personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, appeared on the lotus So it was without delay, and with my mind transformed into of bhav and prem. It's already crying. So this was a stage of bhav. Big difference between bhav and bhavukta, or sentimentalism. So we have to really reach this stage of bhav. And then Narada is saying, without delay, the personality of Godhead Shri Krishna appeared on the lotus of my heart. Without delay, without any more time taken, Krishna appeared. So word bhav is significant here. This bhav stage is attained after one has transcendental affection for the Lord. The first initial stage is called Shraddha, or a liking for the Supreme Lord. And in order to increase that liking, one has to associate with pure devotees of the Lord. Means there are few stages one has to go through to reach the stage of bhav. So stages are, one has to have some Shraddha, and because of that faith or some little faith or curiosity, one associates with devotees. Shraddha, then sadhu sangha. Then by association devotees, one gets knowledge how to do bhajan. One gets trained up. So then it becomes bhajan kriya. Then by doing bhajan kriya, becomes anartha nivritti. Anartha nivritti means all those unwanted things or misgivings in our heart, they go away. They start to go away. Anartha nivritti, then we come to the stage of nishtha. Nishtha means fixed faith, steadiness. It comes. Once, or maybe anarthas won't go away completely before we come to nishtha, but they started going away because there's no black and white stage that this happens and then this happens and this happens. Because anarthas keep going away, slowly they start degrading, and the nishtha the faith starts becoming more steady and steady. And if we continue with our sadhu sangha and bhajan kriya, because these are the most important things in our bhakti, process of bhakti, sadhu sangha and bhajan kriya, in the association of devotees and our performance of our bhajan, sadhana, service, reading, chanting, hearing, whatever we do. So these two are the most important thing, and then rest of the stages will follow. And after nishtha is ruchi, we get some taste, asakti, we get lots of attachment, and then the stage comes from bhav. Bhav is a preliminary stage of prema. Means it's then the next stage is prema or love for God. When we perform devotional service, as somebody has written a question, that I started to cry when I hear about Krishna, when I chant the names of Krishna, or when I hear bhajan of Krishna. So we can have that previous lives. We have done plenty of bhakti, so we could be at the stage of bhav, or Krishna by his mercy, he can give some glimpse of that bhav to keep that fire of bhakti burning in our heart. So he can give that glimpse that this is what will happen if you really come to that stage, and much more than that. Glimpse is just a little reflection of that thing. So that stage, thing is called when the sun is coming up in early morning. Even the sun is not up yet. We don't see sun, but we still see the sunlight. We still see the reddish sunlight everywhere. That means the sun is about to come up, sun is about to rise, but just seeing that little light of sun, we know sun is about to come, and seeing that little light of sun, all the thieves and dacoits, they run away because they work when it is dark. So Krishna can give this bhav abhas, or the glimpse of himself, a glimpse of love for him, so that we understand that Krishna or love for Krishna will come out very gradually, very soon. But it is there. It's not completely out yet. So we have to work a little more hard, work more with more determination, with more sincerity. And the work is what? Two things, sadhu sangha and bhajan kriya. So that should never stop. That should continue to go on. At the stage of prema also, sadhu sangha and bhajan kriya will go on, but the quality of that sadhu sangha and bhajan kriya will be much, much, much pure, much different than what we experience in the beginning. So this is these are the 9 stages that Prabhupada has described. He didn't put on the names, but this is what he is describing. Tears from the eyes of a devotee are an automatic reaction and because Narada Muni in his previous birth attained that stage very quickly after his departure from home, it was quite possible for him to perceive the actual presence of the Lord, which he tangibly experienced by his developed spiritual senses without material things. So because he had no material thing, no material attraction, and he has completely developed spiritual senses, so he could actually perceive the presence of the Lord within himself. So that is the stage we have to reach. When we go and take darshan of the deities in the temple, we should be able to see his presence there. But because our eyes are not anointed with that ointment of love, that's why we don't see. We see only a murti of patthar or metal or wood or whatever. We don't see the Supreme Lord. So the process is this. So we do bhajan kriya and sadhu sangha. We continue doing that, and slowly, rest of the stages will follow. So I'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I want to ask about Adhik Maas.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Akanksha.
Prabhuji, I want to ask something about Adhik Maas.
Okay.
That is starting.
Sure. Purushottam Maas or Adhik Maas is starting tomorrow. It's actually because our calculations are done based on lunar calendar, and we follow solar calendar in everyday life. But all the calculations in scriptures are based on lunar calendar. So to make up the difference, it happens every. And since this Adhik Maas or extra month was not created by Brahmaji, this is something that came upon afterwards. So it was, Brahmaji did not put any tapa, any kind of yajna, any kind of sacrifice, any kind of purification process that can happen in this Purushottam or Adhik Maas. So that's why it was called Mal Maas. Mal means what's a refuge, means nobody likes it. So this Mal Maas or Adhik Maas, there's a person also who represents this. So he got very depressed and he was crying, and he went to Lord Vishnu saying, Lord, what did I do wrong? How come I have to suffer like that? Nobody likes me. There's no yajna, no tapa that can be performed in this month. So Lord Vishnu, because of his mercy, he gave his mercy, he gave his blessings to this Adhik Maas. He said, your name from now will be Purushottam Maas, because I give you my name, and no material yajna can be done during this time, but anybody who performs bhakti, any devotional service during this month, he will get 10 times more benefit than performance during Kartik, month of Kartik. So it is more beneficial for devotees than even month of Kartik. Kartik is considered the topmost month, but Purushottam month is considered even better than that. And because Krishna is himself blessing it. So we should perform more activities, more devotional services during this month. We can increase our rounds. We can take up a vow of reading more scriptures, or more services at the temple. Any charity done during this month has more effect. Things like that. So if we can take up some more practices. And in a Delhi temple, we perform, just like in month of Kartik, we do Deepdan. So in Delhi temple, in this Purushottam month also, every evening there will be Deepdan. So one can perform the lamp offering in this month also. And there is a particular bhajan called Chor Agraganya. That is actually glorifying Krishna, but calling him a thief. And there's beautiful bhajan. And why don't you steal my heart? So to lamp, it will be really beneficial. So thank you. Thank you for asking about Purushottam Mass. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I'm just curious to know. Yesterday I didn't join the class. So you, Radha Prabhuji, Pramod Prabhuji, all of you went to Barsana and had that marriage. You attended that. How was it? How was the experience?
We were in seventh heaven. We were really in the spiritual world. Although materially they were very poor, but spiritually very very advanced people. And the mood of service everybody has over there is amazing. It's amazing. It's like the wedding of the whole village. And they all would come and serve. And everything was taken care of very nicely and very smoothly. Everything went on very smoothly. And materially, hardly any possessions there, but everything went on very smoothly. Even in weddings we conduct in Delhi or any place in our families, there will be many problems, many issues during the wedding. But over there were no issues. We didn't see any fights going on or any disturbance anywhere, or any discord, any disagreements, nothing. Everything went, 3 marriages. Can you believe 3 girls getting married? And everything was smooth. It was, next time when we go to Barsana, you all come and I'll take you to those houses. And you'll see there's nothing in the house. Hardly anything. And I've been going there for last 8-9 years, and it's the same situation 8-9 years ago and the same situation right now. Same thing. Nothing has changed, but they are spiritual, very happy, very ready to serve at any time, ready to feed us at any time. And you saw how much prashadam Radha Prabhu was carrying on his shoulders.
Yeah.
You saw those pictures.
We also
just ready to serve.
Prabhuji, we also felt half by seeing those pictures.
I hope you all got prashadam, some prashadam to honor.
No, I haven't.
I hope.
You didn't? We'll get it in office.
Yeah, Pramod Prabhu will give you. I hope he doesn't eat it by himself because the prashadam was so.
It was, thank you, Prabhuji. The prashadam was out of the world. It was so tasty. We have saved it for tomorrow also for more people.
Okay, Jaya. Yeah, it was really tasty prashadam, really tasty. So next time we go to Barsana, please everybody come along and we'll have a great time. Wonderful.
Welcome.
Prabhuji, small thing. Prabhuji requests you to share the link of the bhajan that you were referring, that we could, hear in the Purushottam Mass. Maybe we can hear, maybe some things might come up in our heart. A humble request, if you
Okay.
can share the link.
I'll search it and send it to you.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. See you all tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.